Welcome to the Sports Card Lessons Podcast. I'm your host, Big Ken. Whether you're watching on YouTube or listening on a streaming service, please like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. You'll be notified whenever I drop any new content. Welcome. Thanks for being here. Welcome to Season 5, even though it is Episode 2. Huge shout out to Dave at Iowa Dave Sports Cards for the interview episode I dropped last Wednesday. Great interview. I had a lot of fun doing it. Love Dave. Great guy. If you missed any of it, if you missed it, definitely go back and give it a listen. It'd be well worth it. Back from vacation, took a week off, and this was my first real true week off for vacation in a long time. I get away a lot, but it never seems to be gone a week. A lot of responsibilities, a lot of things I'm in charge of around here. And it was nice to get away. It was tiring. I'm back. I'm tired. I think I need a couple days just to recuperate, but I felt it was a healthy vacation, right? There was a lot of, spent a lot of time walking and biking, swimming, a lot of time at the beach, just a lot of good, family time, relaxed time, fun time. So did a lot of it. Back home, like I said, tired, just getting back into it. So this episode is coming late. It's probably, late on Monday. I came back late Sunday night and I had work all day from being away. So I apologize. This one's coming in late. Wow. T-minus 1 week till I leave for Cleveland. Right. I'm leaving a week from tomorrow, a week from Tuesday. I'll be leaving for Cleveland. And I've talked so many times about starting to prepare for the National the week I come home from the National, right? I mean, my preparation starts in August. And I'm one of those people that know things won't always stay the same. If this is what's good this year, next year it's going to be different. And it changes and it continues to change year after year. But regardless, I take the information I have from the year, the previous year, the previous event, and I start predicting for next year, right? I start putting a plan together, setting goals, build the strategy, right? Constantly adjusting to the hobby and the market and always watching, always watching for those little glitches. I call them the little glitches in the matrix, right? Just looking for those little things, those little subtle changes that you notice and you're like, I think there's something there. And you hope you're making the right decision. For me, I always hope, and I'm not right all the time. Trust me. If I was, I'd be doing a different podcast right now. But because it's a hobby, I find it, it's fun. It's fun, especially in this environment, to predict, to keep predicting about what's going to go off, where the value is going to be, who the player is going to be, that's why I think I like the prospecting a lot. But I've learned that I talk a lot about zigging when everybody's zagging, right? And zagging when everybody's zigging, that type of thing, that I don't want to be going along with the crowd, because once you start doing that, it's too late. Right? If the crowd is going this way, it's too late. If the people who are going to make out from there have already been there, right? And they're the people say, no, I don't know why you're doing that. Oh, that's foolish. That's this, that's that. Right. And that's the person that sits back at the end and says, yeah, okay, I had this. Right. And we all get our time, right? We all get our time to say, yeah, I had this. I knew this was happening. But for as many times as we do that, we say, oh man, I learned my lesson on this one. I learned my lesson on that one. But we try to get better at it, right? We keep working at it. We try to get better. It's the great thing about a hobby, right? It's not like for most people, right? It's not like if you go out and you make a mistake and you buy a player you shouldn't have, or you invested somewhere you shouldn't have, that you're not losing your job, you're not losing, you just learn from it. You say, man, all right, I thought I had something there, but next time, right? And for most people in there, it's fun. Like we find this fun to do this. This is part of the hobby. This is part of the fun of being in the hobby, because we're not right all the time. And anybody out there that says they're right 100% of the time, they're wrong. They're lying, right? No matter who you are, you make some mistakes, but you learn from the mistakes. And I think we all keep looking a little deeper and a little further, and we're always looking for those little glitches or just something that we think, I think I've got something here. And sometimes we keep it to ourselves, and sometimes, like me, I'm just talk about it, right? And I tell people all the time, it's me. This is my thought. This is what I think, right? And I just hope that my next decision is a profitable one, right? And I take you along for the ride with me. I don't expect you to go out and invest, but you could be here and you listen to me, and you listen to my reasoning, right? Whether it's good, it's bad. And I know I get a lot of messages from people said, "Hey, you knocked that one out of the park. That was great. I bought into this player or that player that worked." Or the other one, they'll send me a picture of a player that just bombed, and I'll be like, I'm sorry. I did my best. I thought I was doing, thought it was going to work out. And then no matter what happens throughout the year, and this year is no different, you have to overcome and adapt, right? Overcome and adapt. And that's a whole other part of the hobby, just coming up to, the last minute audible that they pulled, that so many people lost their tables, right? I know some people are like, that's it, I'm not going, I'm done. And other people like me are like, you know what? We're going to figure it out. We're going to figure it out. We're going to call our own audible and do something different. And we're still looking forward to it. We're going to figure it out. We're going to go out there and figure out how to make it successful. Right. So, with me, I've been talking all year. I stayed the course with the women's soccer and the WNBA. I stand by it 100%. I've collected it all year, and my shelf here, I just kept adding and adding and adding and grading and buying and so many things, because I did so well with it last year. Now I'm super excited, right? Thought I was going to be selling it, at the IX Center in Cleveland. Well, now I'm going to be at the SoCo Expo, right? And you know what? It almost put me in a good position. I want, trust me, I want to be set up at the IX Center during the day. I really do. But this move put me in a good position to move my cards. It was almost a gift, right? Here, I'm trying to sell, predominantly a ton of women's soccer cards, and here's a soccer expo, right? I mean, it was like a match made in heaven here for me. So it just made sense for me to audible out of there when I lost that spot and into this one. Still looking forward to it, right? I think it's going to work out just fine for me. It doesn't mean I'm not going to be walking the National during the day. I'm not going to be like, I'm not going. That's it. No, I'm still going to go. I'm still going to go there. I'm still going to probably carry football cards around with me there, and try to make some deals, but just try to go and enjoy the experience too. This will be my first time walking the National, so a whole different thing for me to go out and see if I can enjoy the experience. And you know what? I'm going to have my own car out there. If I want to leave and go do something else, if it becomes overwhelming or I don't want to be there, I could certainly do that too. You never know what to expect when you're out there, right? And what you want to do. So totally looking forward to that. I'm watching the market, talking about the glitches in the matrix, right? I'm starting to get a little worried about the football card market. And this is something that, while I'm on vacation last week, I'm sitting on a beach in Martha's Vineyard, right? And I'm going through, say, eBay sales and Facebook groups and looking at card prices and cards that I know I still have. And I see people posting a card up, and I'm like, what is going on here? That card actually went down in price. How is it not going up right now? Right? How are some of these cars not going up right now? Because over the last 3 years, in June, July, and right up to the national, prices just kept rising, right? Then they would rise a decent amount. I mean, especially football with quarterbacks, the prices were just jump, 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 jump. And it was always like, oh, geez, I shouldn't have sold that card in May at that show in May because now it's up, 30 or 40% in June or July. So I'm always the guy that's saying, I'm going to hold this stuff. I'm going to buy it strong hands. I'm going to hold it. I'm going to move it late. And it's worked fine the last few years. This year, I was able to move the cards. I was able to turn some profit on the football cards that I did move, but I felt that I was selling them cheaper than they were going to be right now, this week, right now, the week before the national. I felt the people who were buying the cards then were also going to be able, there was going to be enough meat on the bone. They were going to be able to move those cards then and make money. And now I'm going back and looking at these prices and I'm like, these prices have not gone up. Some of these comps have gone down on these cards. And we all know, you look at a comp like a public comp like an eBay, or I'm not even going to say the PWCC because I don't even know what's going on over there with their prices these days. But say an eBay comp, whatever it is, I mean, okay, that's the comp, the public comp on it. But you go to a card show, nobody's paying an eBay comp on a card, right? They're like, hey, this sold here on eBay for $100. You're going to sell it to me for 80 or 75 or whatever, right? So we're a week away from the national, and some of these cards are just are comping lower and not higher. And going right back to Fenway, cards that I sold at the Fenway show, right? Those higher end cards that I said, you know what? I'm going to be firm on these prices. Probably not going to sell them, but I'm just going to be firm on these prices. I mean, I'm glad I did. And a few people had reached out to me saying, man, you were lucky to get those prices for that. And I felt that I was, but I said, you know what? If I would have held these cards, right, to the week before the national, I would have gotten the same price, maybe even gotten more money for those cards. No, they're all those cards are down right now. All those cards not only down, but they're down a decent amount since where I sold them at the Fenway show. And then I'm looking at these rookies, right? I'm looking at, Stroud and Richardson. Um, I almost think their prices are going the wrong direction too. Is it possible? And this is my thought. Is it possible we see a market correction after the national? Like, I'm not sure where these prices are going to go. Usually they go up and they come back down. But if they haven't really jumped up, are they just going to drop down? Are these prices are going to come down? And is it because of overpopulation on these rookies? I mean, are they just putting out a ton of these cards that there's so many of them out there that people are just putting them on eBay just to say, you know what, I'll take what I can get. I graded it. I was lucky to get a 10. I'm going to take what I can get and just get out of this card, because they might be worried too. They might be worried like the price is going to go down on these cards. I think I talked about having a number of CJ Stroud Prism Silver PSA 10, right? So I had 3 of these. I sold 2 of them in Chantilly, and I still have one, and the prices I got in Chantilly are over what they've been selling for now, right? So that price has actually come down, where I felt that week before the national, that those prices are going to go up at least 100, 150. I held on to one. I never really decided if I was going to hold it and just keep it and see what happens with that card and just to have it, or if the prices were, started really came up on it, that I would move that, take it to the national and use it for some trade bait or just sell it off if the price was right on it. But I see the price is down on it right now, but I see the pop count keeps going up on it. So I think I heard someone say that the gem rate on that card was almost 60%. So, or I think it said 59%. So I don't know. Some content I was listening to, someone put that out there. I don't know how true that is. But I mean, that's a pretty, 59 or 60% of a gem rate on a card. All you have to do is find it, and you've got, 60% shot it's going to gem if it looks good, if it's in good condition. And what happens to the veterans? Mahomes, Burrow, Herbert, Jackson, Allen, are their prices just going to stay the same and only rise on their performance when the season starts? I mean, I know Burrow was hurt last year. I'm sitting on a couple nice Burrows that I'm waiting for. Now, on one of them, I shouldn't say I'm waiting. One of them, the price has jumped up, but I have an XRC auto numbered to 49 of Joe Burrow, and I know it's a very low pop count card, but one person sold one of these cards when he got injured back in November, December, for all, probably sold it at that time what the comp should have been on that card if he was playing well, right? Probably sold it for, 60% comps. And then there's no other public sales. So it's tough. When I'm sitting on a card like that, if there's no other public sales, I'm going to be firm on my price. Like, I know this guy's coming back to work. I know he's going to come back to play. What's going to happen with his cards? Are people going to wait to see, or is he going to be one of the guys that people are chasing? It's funny. Every year at the National, there's one guy that everybody shows up to chase, and I'm not sure who that one guy is going to be this year. If it's Stroud, there's going to be plenty of cards for them to buy out there, right? And I know the Josh Allen cards that came down over the last 2 years, really, they're actually starting to go up a little bit. I've been noticing, on a lot of sales that, that card is really starting to see his rookie cards are starting to sell again, and they're creeping up in price. And we saw that happen a couple of years ago on him, that the prices really jumped up. Like, he was the guy everybody wanted to buy his card. And I jumped on that bandwagon, and I owned a number of his cards and kind of got stuck on a couple of them. I did well on some, got stuck on another. I ended up holding them too long. And then he just never played well. And, the bottom drops out of those cards. So yeah, the pricing on football right now is a little concerning to me. That's one of those glitches that I see, that I'm expecting one thing, and the past couple of years have told us that should happen, and then it doesn't happen. Now there's going to be something that's going to follow, and we're going to, time is only going to tell what's going to happen. What is about to follow, that these prices have not come up. I'm curious, talking about the National. What are the goals heading into the National for you guys? Every year I go in, because I'm setting up, I'm a dealer. My goal is to go in and sell, right? Is to go in and sell. And I maybe put one card or two cards on my radar to say, this is the card I want to find. And last year, one of those cards I put on that, I ended up finding it out there. And just because I put it out there, I talked to people. I was looking for a Trinity Rodman, the rookie blue auto from Parkside. And I ended up finding one. I ended up finding one out there by talking to other people who were selling women's soccer. And somebody said, wait a minute, somebody was here. They were selling one. Let me send them over. Long story short, I ended up with the card. So that's kind of nice. You're going in with a little bit of a plan. The year before that, I didn't have a plan, and I ended up coming home. I'm saying the year before. Yeah, the year before. So Atlantic City. I came home from Atlantic City with a number of Josh Allen cards, right? I didn't go in there expecting to get them, but all of a sudden he just became the guy that was. So I jumped on that bandwagon, and I realized at that point, it's too late. when everybody's doing it, it's too late. Um, so this year I'm putting another list together, now that I'm going to be out there and moving around and have a lot of freedom while I'm out there, making a list of certain players that I want to buy. I have a couple cards from my PC that I would buy to put in my PC that I don't know if I'll find out there. Um, and then some players that I'm just prospecting on. I mean, what's the goal for you guys? PC prospecting? What are you looking for out there? I know I picked up a couple last minute football cards for trade bait, right? It's just hoping that, I'm getting into them at a really good price that hopefully I could go out there and maybe, could you imagine me showing up with a downtown or a kaboom of a quarterback and wanting to trade for, say, a women's soccer or WNBA? I'm sure the dealer on the other side of the table is like, yes, please, yes, please. So another angle in my mind, I'm thinking I'm going to go out there with enough ammunition. So if I find a card that I want, but my goal out there is not to buy football. And I know a lot of people I've talked to are going out there saying, well, the prices of football they're ripe right now. So that's what I'm going to hopefully go out there and get some good deals. I just talked about the pricing on football. I understand usually when you think you're getting a good deal on something that should be more money, means they're not going the wrong direction, means the prices are probably dropping if you think you're getting a good deal. So today's deal may be, not so good of a deal tomorrow or next week. So to me, I would be cautious. For me, I'm not doing anything with football. And with football, history tells us that player prices will drop after the season starts. I mean, some of them are going to go up on performance, but most drop because most players go out and do their job, right? They're not playing unbelievably great, they're not playing poorly, they're going out, they're winning and they're losing, but there's nothing over the top about them. Right? It's those couple players that go out and they play above where everybody expected them to play. Those are the players they're going to, their prices are going to go up on. But again, I mean, we could all speculate who we think it's going to be, but only some of us are going to be right, and more of us will be wrong than right. What I'm looking to pick out there, and really the bulk of my hobby money that I'll spend out there, and not saying that's a lot, right? But probably the bulk of the hobby money that I'll spend out there, or really spend in the next few weeks, right, will be on players that I'll be selling 4 to 6 months from now, right? Not something that I'm going to be buying now to quick flip or to sell in a month or sell it in August. I mean, most of the sale stuff that I sent a big order out to PSA that I knew wouldn't be back for the National, but I knew would be back for Fishtown next month when I go set up down there. And football will still be hot then, right? So, or hopefully hot. Hopefully the prices will be up. I'm saying that like I know. I'm more hoping than I know. But most of the stuff I'm buying now is to sell 4 to 6 months from now. But let me know. Like I want to hear what other people, what your goals are, what you're looking for, what you're looking to buy out there. Because I've talked to so many different people and I get so many different answers of what people are buying. And and I talk to, just collectors. Obviously it's PC. I talk to dealers. It's mostly flipping, right? But then there's those people in between, right? The people that have a collection, they like to flip, and that's the majority of us in the hobby. And I really like to hear who people are looking to get, and maybe even why do you think this person? Because I have a number of people I'm looking at, right? And Thursday's episode, I'm probably going to share a number of those with you, and give you a little reasoning behind that. This week for me, the week before, it's all about preparation. It's like literally 5 days, 6 days. I'm actually setting up this weekend at a local show Sunday, and not that I felt it was important to set up 2 days before I leave for Cleveland, um, but because I made a commitment to that, to have a table or have two tables at this local show, and it just ends up it's that Sunday. So I'm going to be there. I'm going to be set up and doing my thing. So not only do I have to prepare to get ready for that on Sunday, but again, the majority of the stuff I have to prepare to get ready to go out to Cleveland. And I've been uploading all my cards. So with Mascot app, they're working with SoCo Expo. So I've been going through and uploading all my slab. I shouldn't even say slabs because I've been taking pictures of raw cards too. But I'm starting to upload a lot of those cards to there. So I'm kind of super excited about that too, because a lot of people are saying to me, look, I'm not going to be able to get out there, but I may be interested in some of your soccer cards or your, WNBA cards. Is there somewhere else I can see them? Well, now there will be. So when I get this finished and hopefully by Thursday, I'm going to share that link on my IG page that you can go straight there and see all the inventory that I'm going to have out at the SoCo Expo. And I know even though the SoCo Expo, it's soccer themed, right? I'm bringing everything. I'm bringing my women's stuff out there. I'm bringing the soccer, the WNBA. I'm even bringing my football out there. It's all going to be there. I got a booth. I got 12 feet of space. Everything I've got, all going to be out there. So just because it's soccer themed doesn't mean it's going to be only soccer. Everybody's going to have a lot of different cards out there. So super excited about that. I have a ton of singles that I need to price that I've been collecting all year that are all just, refractored and numbered, all, again, women's soccer and WNBA that I'm going to be going through, making some singles boxes and putting them out there too. And I'm going to put, last time for Chantilly, I put a spreadsheet together that worked out very well for me. I'm going to do that again this year. I've got a ton. I probably have 250 or 300 slabs that I have to add to that spreadsheet and price them out. So it's going to, like I said, it's going to be a busy weekend coming off a week of vacation, right? And trying to come back with my my business and getting to everybody I wasn't able to get to last week and doing this, it's definitely going to be a busy week for me. I know was it last? I think it was the week before I left that the National announced 3 nights of trade nights out in Cleveland, trying to compete with the after shows. I mean, that's the only reason they did it, because I don't think they would care besides that. But I think most people know the inventory missing at the National is not going to show up at the trade nights, right? It's going to show up at these after shows. All those people who lost their space, who have been building their inventory all year, just like I've been doing. This is where you're going to find all that inventory that's missing from the National, including mine, right? I know of 2 after shows right now, and I'm in one of them. I'm set up in one of them. So I think that's going to be the play this year, I think. And it seems like the location too. I think a lot of people are confused. The location of the IX Center, it just seems to be so away from everything. Last year in Chicago, the hotels were all right there. You could just walk right across the street. You're in, you're out, you're going to trade nights and everything else. But it's a little different this year. I think everything is further away from you, miles to everything. So if you don't have a car, you're probably doing a lot of Ubering around. I know SoCo Expo has a free shuttle that's going from the IX Center at the end of the day, at the end of the 6 o'clock, when that shuts down. They have a shuttle going to the expo. So another thing to keep in mind. And from what I've seen so far, the 2 after shows that I know, are free. They're free to attend. So you can't beat that. Free is good, right? Right now, the schedule for me and the podcast is I'll be back Thursday with a solo episode, talk about some last minute things, getting ready for Cleveland, how I'm preparing to walk my first national, share some inventory, share my link to with Mascot, just all kinds of good stuff, just all kinds of last minute stuff getting ready to go. Next week, Monday and Wednesday, I have guest episodes that I'll be dropping. And I'm also going to bring my equipment, figure out a way to get an episode in next week from Cleveland, whether it's in my hotel room or it's maybe at the SoCo Expo. I'm not sure. No promises, because I talked about doing it last year and it just never worked out. But I ended up having no time last year. So I'm hoping this year I'll have a little extra time and I'll be able to, bring you a little content from there. So that's it. That's all I got for you. Thanks for hanging out. I will be back Thursday with a brand new episode. I want to thank everyone for tuning in. And if you like what you hear, please definitely subscribe. And most importantly, tell a friend and spread the word. Until next time, take care of yourselves and everyone around you.